As I record this, we are 1 week away from Thanksgiving and we are living in beautiful Albufeira, Portugal. We want to have a full-on fantastic Thanksgiving. Chris definitely needs to have some pumpkin pie. However, it is going to be such an adventure getting him pumpkin pie because pumpkin pie is not a thing in Portugal. Canned pumpkin is not a thing in Portugal. The only pumpkin thing that seems to be a thing in Portugal is pumpkin jam.
We did find this, but that's a lot of money.
So if worse comes to worse, I'm making toast and putting some pumpkin jam on it. I need to write down the ingredient and supply list that I need for making this happen. Cheers. Now that I have my coffee, I'm getting online, checking out my New York Times cooking where I have a ton of recipes saved from Thanksgiving's past. Last year for Thanksgiving, we were in Phoenix. We just went out to a restaurant that was doing Thanksgiving. Chris was able to enjoy pumpkin pie. We had a lovely meal. It was fantastic. The year before that, we were in Canada. They do Thanksgiving, but a month before. However, they have all of the supplies. We were able to pick up a pumpkin pie out of the frozen section. I was in school at the time, so I wasn't doing much cooking or baking.
Hey honey, did you get the pumpkin pie thing taken care of?
Oh honey, the pumpkin's gonna be interesting. I think I've located some smallish pumpkins that I think are from Japan that I've heard maybe work for making sweet pumpkin dishes. We'll do our best. Some good news, this kitchen is very well equipped. And I brought some magazines with me from home. I also have some recipes that are saved on my New York Times cooking account. Yay, New York Times. I am going to be looking for new recipes for how to make pumpkin puree and how to make pumpkin spice. We'll see. I'm also just really out of practice on making pie, which I'm not incredible at as far as the crust goes, but I like to try. Now it's time to figure out the pumpkin puree. I found things that use pumpkin puree. Okay, the tough thing is that so many of these recipes only have like 18 reviews or 20 some reviews. How am I supposed to know if they're any good or not? 10 votes on Love and Lemons, which I mean, I've seen good things from Love and Lemons. Oh, The Conscious Kitchen has 192 votes and 4.9 stars, so maybe. Should I trust them? Do you trust them? Might as well give it a try. I have decided to go with Better Homes and Gardens for the pumpkin pie recipe and puree. Do your shopping lists ever look like that? I can't stand it when it's like all crazy looking. Although I need to do it crazy looking first because, well, so now I'm going to make a new list of my list. The grocery stores are fantastic. I love them. Everything is in Portuguese though. And I mean, sometimes English is in the really, really fine print on some items, but not on all. And I'm starting to learn Portuguese, but I don't know. Thanksgiving's like a high pressure thing. So I'm going to shop online first, try to get everything that I need, and I'm probably gonna have to fill in here or there because it doesn't seem like one grocery store ever has everything that I need, except for Hy-Vee back home. Oh, Hy-Vee, I miss you. Does anybody else make a list and then a list from the list, or am I just extra neurotic? Or both? We are on our way to the Natural Food Company. It's a spot I found online. It's about a half an hour drive away, but yesterday I sent them this email asking if they happen to have turkey breasts because I didn't want to have to buy a whole turkey, and they do. I have to buy quite a bit, like I have to get 3 kilograms, but we can cut that 3 kilograms in half and freeze half of it and then have the rest for Thanksgiving, and it means that I will get to use my Samin Nosrat recipe for doing a turkey brine, and I really loved how that turned out when we were in Canada.
The turkey in Canada was delicious, so I'm looking forward to this turkey. I wonder if it's going to taste different. I want to know what's the farthest you've ever driven, Melissa, to get a turkey.
To Hy-Vee, like half a mile from our house.
And this is going to be about 20 miles.
He said that they'd have them. I have the email to prove it, so here's hoping. There it is.
Right there.
Yep.
Okay. Wine, turkey.
I am so excited to have the turkey breasts that I wanted and to have some delicious wine to try out.
I gotta say, that place really paid off, I think.
Here's hoping.
I'm really nervous about the pumpkin pie, though.
Oh, okay, I see it in English here. Right.
It's white orange. It's orange.
We've got pumpkin. That is good. Now let's see if we can make pumpkin pie out of pumpkin that doesn't come from a can. Hey, Aria, you happy?
Yes. We got the last of the pumpkin and the last of the cranberries for the desserts I want to make.
So I'd say it's destiny. We're gonna have pumpkin pie.
Oh, I sure hope so.
You got some Cool Whip, right?
There is no Cool Whip. I did get whipping cream to try making whipped cream.
I really like Cool Whip. I'm sorry, I like Cool Whip.
It is Sunday. I have just finished making the list of to-dos for prepping Thanksgiving dinner. Today I need to take care of making the puree for pumpkin pie and prepping the bread for our stuffing. But first, I have a lot of work to do. I have to put away all of the things I cleaned that I bought yesterday and make dinner and do all of that wonderful stuff. Although I'm not gonna share making dinner with you because it'd be too much. All right, they are in the oven. Now they are supposed to roast for 1 hour, and then I have to let them cool, and then I get to scrape the pulp into a food processor and process them. Now it's time to prep the bread for stuffing. We're one step closer. I need to wait for these to cool down a little bit more. They look good. I think they smell pumpkin-y. I should see what Chris thinks. So honey, can you just quick smell the pumpkin and see if it smells pumpkin-y to you in the way you want it to smell for pumpkin pie?
I think it's gonna be okay.
All right, Chris, here it is.
It looks like it's gonna be pretty orange. I'm excited. I can't wait.
It's been raining off and on all day. It's the perfect day for getting a project done, especially a pie crust making project. Pie crust is like, it's the thing I get the most nervous about making. It's gone wrong for me plenty of times. I don't have the perfect flour for it, but I think I have a good enough flour, we'll see. So today, I'm just going to be making the pie crust discs. It should be okay. It's just that like final rolling out and getting it to fit, especially when I don't really have pie tins. These are not quite the pie tins that I'm used to, but I'm hopeful. I think I'll make some extra crust because they seem big. So yesterday, worked on tearing up the bread so I could get stale. I think it could get a little more stale yet, but ooh, that one's pretty stale though. They're getting there. So tomorrow I would think that they should be fully stale, which is great. It doesn't look like that much bread though, so I'm kind of like, has my husband been like sneaking pieces? But really it was a small portion anyway, because it's just the two of us and we're going to have turkey and green bean casserole. And I mean, look at this list, yeah. turkey, green bean casserole, stuffing, potatoes. We're going to have maybe 3 different desserts to try. So we'll have plenty to eat. So it's okay if we have just a little stuffing. In fact, it's perfect if we have just a little stuffing. I kind of feel like I'm putting off making pie crusts by focusing on all of the other things that need to get done. And I think that's because I am putting it off. I don't know what it is about pie crust. It just stresses me out. Does anybody else get stressed out about pie crust? Other people must. I mean, a lot of people just buy the store-bought, but I haven't even really noticed any store-bought pie crust to get here, but I also haven't looked very hard. First things first, I have to measure 150 grams of flour, and I'm so glad that I started measuring things using a scale because I haven't found a set of cups that I really like here yet. Less than ideal, but it's what I have for salt. I tucked this butter way back into the fridge where I feel like it's a little colder than near the door because it's really great to have super cold butter when working with pastries. That's one of the things I've learned over the many years of trial and error. Now I did just look it up, and 1 tablespoon is supposed to be 14.2 grams of butter, and I'm supposed to have 10 tablespoons of butter. The recipe on the New York Times does recommend going with like a European brand, so I do have Irish butter, and well, I'm in Europe, so I think no matter what, I'd end up with a European brand, but who knows? Before measuring, I just noticed this lovely little guy. So we're just gonna go with 150 grams of butter and call it good, right? I'm loving how good and cold the butter is. And also, my fingers are cold. Cold hands are supposed to be a pastry chef's secret weapon. So maybe this is what I'm meant to do. All right, I have the lima bean size like things I'm supposed to, so now I get to add some ice cold water. I definitely miss my like tools from at home. I don't know, it's supposed to be moist and not wet, and it's feeling kind of wet. I just realized why it's too wet. I was supposed to do, I think it was 140 grams, and then I was like, oh, well, no, maybe I did do it right. Oh, shoot. Let's see. 25, 50. Oh, that's right, I did 150 grams instead of 140, which should still be okay, I would think. So I'll just like add a little bit of flour. I'm sure it'll be fine. Clearly that did not go as I had hoped. I need to start over from scratch, which is fine. That's why I like doing things days ahead of time, because it gives me the time to restart without like really stressing. Time for take 2. There's more than one way to get this done, and this pie crust, it's fine if it's not perfect. I would like for it to like look decent, but the truth is, Chris never eats pie crust. He just doesn't. It's really just a holder for the pumpkin pie. He like scrapes along the inside and just takes out the custard. And since he's the only one eating the pumpkin pie, I'm just going to try to make it fit and work as well as possible. The solution I've come up with is to use parchment paper. It's something I've done when making scones before, just because sometimes dough is just too wet, because also once the dough is really good and cold, I think it'll work much better. I kind of wonder if my food processor is just too small and so it gets hot really fast, because for a second there, it looked perfect and I was just like, oh, I should just give it another pulse or two because not all of it's quite together. And then as soon as I did the extra pulse or two, it became like way too soft. And then I tried adding a lot of flour to it and it didn't help. That's that's right, it's Tuesday. I had meant to get the turkey brine done like first thing this morning, and well, the sun, I think, has pretty much set, and I still have dinner to make. But before I start making dinner, I am going to brine that turkey. Good morning. It is before 9 a.m. and I am going to start my Thanksgiving baking. It's Wednesday, it's the big to-do day for this, and I'm super excited to be doing my Thanksgiving baking tradition. And that is listening to Zac Brown Band while I bake up some amazing Thanksgiving treats. Chris is not a fan of the music, so I've got my beats ready to roll, and it's time to get baking. First up is maple walnut blondies. I have never made these before, but I love blondies, and I'm thinking they'll be good. I also have to get pumpkin pie made because we can't have Thanksgiving without pumpkin pie. Fingers so crossed that turns out. And then I also want to do these cranberry whoopie pies, but I might run out of time on those. We'll see. So much to get done today. Here we go. All right, time for an update. The good and the bad. The bad, I'm not really sure if this is an 8x8 pan. It feels like this was a little low. Like, I'm hoping these turn out. I love maple. Time to pop them in the oven. The cool good news is that even though it's been forever since I have listened to the Zac Brown Band's playlist, I still remember pretty much all of the lyrics. So I have been jamming, having a grand time singing along. I'm really concerned that I may have lost my touch on baking because I'm so out of practice. Like the last time I baked anything was St. Louis in August. Not this year, like August 2021 with our granddaughter Audie. That's the last time I baked anything. I've cooked, but I haven't baked in forever. This is looking pretty good. Maybe I haven't lost the touch. Yeah, I think I just need to leave it and let it cool down for a while, and then I'm totally gonna sample a little bit because it's my job, right? Although now it's on to the more challenging task. This is what my pie crust looks like right now. I need a better food processor. I'm sure it was the food processor. I'm gonna get to work on this pie crust, see what I can do with it, see if I need to start from scratch all over again. I might as well not put it off, right? Zac Brown Band. Finally, I have a pie crust that looks like a pie crust should look. It needs to set in the fridge for half an hour. I think I'm gonna make a second one, but then we definitely need to buy more butter. I can't believe how much butter there is in a Thanksgiving meal. It's insane. Okay, I have to test it. It is part of my job as the one baking the sweets for Thanksgiving. Oh my God, my mouth is like already watering. I do think my pan was a little too big. These are a little thinner than I would expect blondies to be, but still quite tasty. And they're sweet, but not like crazy sweet. I want to see what Chris thinks. Honey.
Yo. Oh, yes. I love a treat. Soft. It's just pumpkin?
No, it's a maple walnut blondie.
Good for me? It's good for me. You haven't lost your skills, huh? You still got it.
Thank you. It is pumpkin pie making time, and I only have a couple of hours to get the pumpkin pie made because we've been invited to an Expat Thanksgiving party this evening, which we're super excited about. We have to leave here at 5:20. I'm not dressed for a party, and yeah. Oh, and I'm totally getting my beats on and listening to Zac Brown Band because that seems to be the secret. Obstacle, that pie pan is a little big, which is why I made a little extra crust, and I'm going to try to make a bit extra pie filling. I read that this should take 7 cups of custard or filling to fill it. So I'm just gonna double the recipe and then just fill it with 7 cups, I think. We'll see. I have to share, I'm super proud that I figured out the size of the pie pan because I didn't see it printed anywhere on the pie pan. I don't have a ruler because, well, we just moved to Portugal. I had a notebook, and the notebook, I can see that it is 8 inches across, right? And so I folded this 4 times and held it up to the side here and went, oh hey, that's like 2 inches. Okay, fantastic. So I know it's 2 inches. I know it's nearly 10 inches wide, thanks to a piece of notebook paper. Actually, dang, that's at least 10 inches wide. So it's definitely not your standard 9-inch pie pan. Thank goodness for notebooks, and actually I think my dad got me this notebook. All right, I've got the beats going again, because I've got to, right? Not where you live, where to drive, or the price tag on your clothes. There's no dollar sign on a piece of mind, this I've come to know.
Sorry, I had to interject. After listening to that, I'm a little concerned how the pumpkin pie is going to turn out. Okay, back to the video.
If you agree, have a drink with me. I can't drink yet though. I've got to make pie. I'm kind of procrastinating. All right, it's not gorgeous, but it is sturdy looking, and I think it's gonna work. I'm hoping it goes to right there, because that will mean that I have 30 ounces or 2 full cans of pumpkin. The recipe only calls for 1, but like I said, I think I'd need to just double it and then figure it out from there because I'm not that skilled. I'm not quite there. I'm close, but I'm not quite there. So I have to think about how I want to pursue this. I think I have this figured out. So I'm going to do 1.5 times the recipe. And so I just did some conversions quick from that, and hopefully it works. It's math, it should work, right? I mean, that's what math does. The one thing that has me really nervous is I need 4.5 eggs. Do I use the egg yolk? Do I use the egg white? Do I just say, well, I'm just gonna do 5 eggs? I just quick read this post. Let's see, who is it by? What is her name? Okay, well, her website is called A Day in the Kitchen, and she just explained how to have an egg for baking. So you crack the egg into a bowl, you whisk it, and you weigh it, and then you halve it, you know, because you should have half of that weight. So yeah, I get how I'm gonna do this. The internet is a wonderful thing sometimes. Honey, did you want to listen to some of the Zac Brown Band with me? Should I stop it?
Maybe for pumpkin pie, I might listen to Zac Brown Band.
Really?
Yeah, let's just stop it. Okay, did it stop? Hopefully. I got my blue jeans on and some pumpkin pie. Gonna have a cold brew, it's a beer. Who wants to listen to that?
Keep me in mind next time that you better.
Let's cover that up. Okay.
Okay, well, we can't, this is the only pumpkin pie I'm making.
Wow. I have to say that looks very much like a pumpkin pie.
I might have put too much sugar in.
That's not possible. It'll be fine.
So yeah, no, I'm just putting the foil on to protect it. Also, honey, I ran into another hurdle while doing this, which the viewers already know about, but you don't, and that's, you know, well, you kind of do, you know, trying to make the right amount of filling, and I think I got it pretty perfect. I just did 1.5 times the recipe in Better Home and Garden.
It's gonna be a pumpkin pie with a lot of custard, and I'm okay with that. I think the challenge might be making sure it cooks all the way through, but
Yeah, I better get it in there because, well, my watch died, so I have no idea what time it is, but we have to leave at 5:20. What time is it?
it's 3:25.
Okay, because yeah, this is probably gonna take at least an hour and a half to bake.
Okay.
I don't remember whether or not these are this liquidy too.
I think so.
I don't want to burn my hand, Okay, good. Ooh. Just a little bit.
Ooh. It's gonna be a lot of pumpkin pie. Shucks, I'll just have to eat it all. Ooh.
I hope it's good, I really do. I've shifted to listening to a podcast because now it's time for me to slice up shallots. It's not baking, so I don't need the music anymore. The shallots are for the green bean casserole that Chris loves, so I need to get some work done. It's 3:50 p.m. So yeah, I could do this for like an hour and then get ready and then be ready to go. Yeah, I just need a half an hour to get ready.
Looks like pumpkin pie, smells like pumpkin pie. I think it's gonna taste like pumpkin pie.
I think it's ready. I'm gonna do the knife test one more time. Came out clean.
That's a big pie. Look at that. I gotta say, that is a beautiful looking, huge pumpkin pie.
I hope it's delicious. I really, really do. Now it's gonna sit on the counter and cool while we go to an expat Thanksgiving.
She is the best.
Good morning, happy Thanksgiving. I have a lot to get done yet today. Oh, I should grab my list. So yesterday, very happy with how the pumpkin pie turned out. Again, have no idea how it tastes, but it looks pretty. I'm gonna have to skip out on baking cranberry whoopie pies because there's just no time, so I don't get to check that off my list. And I did not get a chance to prep the shallots fully for the green bean casserole, although I did cut them and put them in the fridge, and now the entire fridge smells like shallots. So hopefully I also wrapped the pumpkin pie up tight enough so that it doesn't taste like shallots. I've got that to do this morning. We've got the turkey breast to roast, the green bean casserole to make, the stuffing to make, whipped cream to make, and potatoes to roast. So it's about 6:30 in the morning. I think I want to be eating Thanksgiving dinner by like around noon. Normally my first thing to do in the morning is work out. I love doing Michelle Breeler workouts, but today it's all about the Thanksgiving meal. Maybe I'll fit a workout in while the turkey's roasting or something, we'll see. So much progress is being made, but there's still so much to get done. I'm not out of my jammies yet. It's 10 a.m. But I do get to cross the stuffing off the list. So that's done. We're gonna go ahead and check that. Ziggy, set timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes, starting now.
I couldn't find marbled potatoes, so I'm going to just use regular small potatoes. But I'm very excited to give making Ina Garten's recipe a try. I do love pretty much every recipe of hers that I've ever tried. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. And it smells so good. Oh, I've got to get the turkey in the oven because then I'll just warm everything up. I'm gonna make the potatoes while the turkey's in the oven, I decided. Everything's coming together. And I'm gonna get ready for the day while the turkey's in the oven. It's time. This is going to be one of the best Thanksgiving meals I've ever made. I wish I got to share it with more people, but I do get to share it with one of the most VIPs in my world, so I've got that going for me. Chris, honey, where you at? There you are. Okay, look. I made whipped cream.
Looks like amazing whipped cream. It's gonna be good.
All right, it looks like we are 10 minutes away. Well, we're 15 minutes away from having our Thanksgiving dinner.
That smells so delicious.
And just the green bean stuffing inside. Fork for the
Honey, you've outdone yourself.
I'm hoping everything is delicious. I really, really, really am. It smells wonderful and it was a lot of fun to make up. Cheers, my love. Happy Thanksgiving,
Cheers.
everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving. Now let's eat. Pumpkin pie is my most favorite pie. So here we go. And I only have it once a year. And I've had it every year of my life, I think. And I was worried about this year, but Melissa, she got it done. Let's see. It feels like pumpkin pie. Here we go. It tastes pretty good. The texture is lighter than most pumpkin pies I'm used to, but the flavor is pumpkin. It's on. Honey, good job.
Are you just saying that?
Yeah, it's good.
Are you saying that because you love me and you want me to feel good because you know how much work I put into it? Or should I share this pumpkin pie recipe with someone?
Well, on the first bite, it tastes pretty good. It's light. Like I said, it seems more airy. It's not as dense, but it's delicious.
And you're happy?
I think I'm pretty happy.
The wine, the meal, I'm super happy with how this Thanksgiving meal has turned out.
It is possible to make a delicious Thanksgiving dinner in Portugal.